From dinosaurs to mammoths to fish and neuropaleontology, the Burpee Museum's Paleofest celebrates all that and more, with tonight marking the kickoff for this year's event. There's plenty to do at Paleofest, including daytime talks from experts about their research, family workshops, and exploring the exhibit halls of the museum. One of this year's speakers is Scott Williams, a paleontologist involved in the discovery of Rockford's very own Tyrannosaurus rex, Jane. He says there's always something to learn at Paleofest.
There's always new science, there's always new finds. There's a new dinosaur described every week. On average, we're doing between 50 and 55 new dinosaurs every year. And so there's always something new that's going to be talked about at Paleofest.